Hello and welcome to the course. In the previous lecture, we have learned about filter context. In today's lecture, we will learn about the row context. A row context is a context that always contains a single row and Dux automatically defines it during the creation of calculated column. Row context can be thought of as the current row. Let's do it with the Power BI. So here we have like the model that you already familiar with. We have marks and student, and what we can do is we have to create we have already created one measure like total obtained marks, and here you can see the total obtained marks is the sum x, and sum x is the function, is the iterative function that needs to iterate marks table, and then it is adding midterm marks plus final term marks. And if I put this all total obtained marks here, like total obtained marks, and let's create one slicer. We have to put subjects, and then we have to click slicer, and we need to increase the text size for the better visualization. And now we need to apply like the filter context. For example, if I click on math, and here you can see what is happening. Whenever, always remember, whenever we perform any calculation, the filter context and the row context works together. So what is happening here? First we have applied filter context, that is math, and then we can see all the marks for every student. The second filter is student 1, student 2, 3 and 4, 5, and these are the two filters. One is the subject filter, the other is different student, like student 1, student 2 and so on. And so where are the row context? Row context is a row that is the current row. Let's have a look with the Excel. For example, this is the marks sheet, and now we need to know that what is the row context. So what we can do is, first we need to apply the filter context. For example, if I click here math, and then I am adding 25, 62. Like here you can see I have added one formula, sum d4 comma e4, and 25 plus 62 and all the values here you can see. And if I sum up these values, then you can see it's a 304. So what is the row context? Row context is because by using the filter context, we said okay, we instruct our formula to calculate all the marks, all the midterm and final term marks for the math subject. So first we have applied the filter context, and then we need some iteration so that it goes row by row. First it should go to this row, then this row, and all the rows. So we need to iterate these rows. For example, we need to iterate these rows, and I can make it like this one. So we have to iterate first row, then we need to iterate second row, then it's the third row and fourth row, and then the fifth row. So this is the row context. So without row context we cannot go from here to here. So that's where we the row context comes into action. So without row context we cannot iterate the table. So if you look here you can see 304. So this is the total value for summing up all these stuff. So the basic purpose is to tell you what is the row context and the filter context and how these things work. If you write any formula, then these two contexts, row context and filter context, must be there. So always remember, filter context and row context work together. Filter context tells you what to iterate, and the row context tells you how to iterate. So you have to remember these two things. The filter context will set all the filters that what kind of like here we have put one filter like math. We need to iterate all the rows that belong to math. But now the question is how to get these rows. So the answer is we have to use row context so that we can iterate all those rows that belong to math. So I hope you understood these two concepts, filter context and row context. Without having solid understanding of row context and filter context, you cannot proceed. So let's meet in the next lecture with some more concepts.